Guys, you're spreading your budgets way too thin, and you're not giving Meta Ads a chance to optimize and give you the results that you're looking for. By trying to be cheap on the front end, you're gonna end up paying more. So in today's video, we're gonna talk about campaign budgets and how important it is to set appropriate budgets for your average cost per purchases and for the products that you're trying to sell. I'm gonna show you a real live ad account where this was happening and what happens when we actually started giving Meta more spend. You're gonna see exactly what happened to the results. I'm also gonna give you some rules of thumb to set up your budgets appropriately so that you're giving your campaigns the best chance to do well. So without further ado, let's jump into it. So this is a physical product. They're in the fashion niche. The product is over $100. It's like $170, $180. And their break-even return on ad spend is around 1.5. Okay, so you can see here, these are some legacy campaigns that were managed by an old agency. And the first thing that I noticed here, obviously, was that they had spent quite a bit of money on these 3 campaigns. And, they were spending and generating losses for this business owner. You can see they were at a 1x, 1.15, and 0.69. These are pretty serious losses here. And I was wondering, why? I noticed that this business owner had really nice creatives, really good products. I was like, why is this not working? So I started to dig and I looked into the ad set level. Actually, let's look at this second one here. And the first thing that I noticed here was take a look at these ad set budgets. $30, $10, $10, $10, $5 a day. And if you look at the average cost per purchase here, $138, $132, $272, $238 here, it became glaringly obvious why this wasn't working. They didn't have sufficient daily budgets for their ad sets. What do I mean? Well, let's take this second one here, for example. Okay, they had a daily ad set budget of $10, and then they had a average cost per purchase of $130. So with this math, that means it's going to take approximately 13 days to get a purchase. And when you set up your ad sets or your campaigns like this, where it goes 5, 6, 7, 10, 13 days without a purchase, it tends to get kind of lost and it does not optimize well. So it's pretty obvious here. You can see a more appropriate budget here would be like $150 for this one ad set. That way you're giving it a chance to get one sale per day. And when it has one sale per day, it tends to optimize much better. It finds its way. It keeps getting those purchase conversions and it keeps finding more and more people that are likely to purchase because it optimizes off of every next purchase. The first person that buys, it looks at their profile, it analyzes them, and then it shows the ad to more people like them that are likely to take that same purchase action, right? And so like I said, if you don't give it enough juice or you don't give it enough budget to find that next person and it takes 5-10 days, it's going to get lost, guys. So in this scenario, pretty obvious that they set their budgets way too low, trying to be conservative, trying to save money, trying to not spend too much money, but inadvertently they ended up wasting a lot of money and generating losses for this business. So that's a really clear example. Let's take a look at this one. Another super common thing is people will do like audience testing and ABOs like this. And you can see here, again, $20 a day, right? And they're getting a $240 cost per purchase. So you can see there's a huge discrepancy. There's going to be several days where you're not getting those purchase conversion events. So it's not going to optimize well, and you can see here that it was giving bad results. So what can we do differently here? So if you're seeing a $240 average cost per purchase, well, in this case, we know it's the same products from before. We should be seeing more like 100. So we could set a daily budget of around 150 or 100 would make sense. Even 200 would be fine. But this is an example of how sometimes spending more can actually give you better results. So let me show you exactly what I mean here. Now let's look at, say, the last 7 days where I'm setting budgets that make sense. So you can see on this one, budget of $120, right? Their average cost per purchase is 60. So now I'm giving this campaign, this is at the campaign level, the budget. I'm giving this campaign the opportunity to get 2 sales per day. What is that going to do? It's going to optimize much better than something that needs to take 10, 12 days to get 1 single sale to find its next purchase conversion event. Okay, so as you can see, ROAS 3.24, the cost per purchase is way down, and we're spending more. We're spending 120, right? And now let's take a look at this one. This one is not doing as good, but let's see. This one's at $300 a day. I attempted to scale this one from 150 to 300 vertically, and it actually did not react well. So this one, you can see it's still, it's at a 110 cost per purchase. But what you can see is it's still doing better than the $10 a day. It's at 1.56, which is at slightly like about break even basically. So I'm not super concerned with that one. But again, still giving better results. Now this one, $100 a day, $50 cost per purchase. Makes sense. So the moral of the story here, guys, is try to set budgets that make sense for the products that you're selling. Try not to spread yourself out too thin, especially those of you that are operating with some smaller budgets, like $100 a day, $200 a day, or maybe even $500 a day. You don't want to have so many ad sets or so many campaigns where you're splitting your budget up so much. My rule of thumb that I recommend people use is to try to set up your campaigns in such a way that you can reasonably expect each ad set to get at least 1 or 2 purchases per day. So to give you a super easy example, let's say you have an average cost per purchase of 50 and you had a campaign that was 1 campaign, 1 ad set, and 1 ad, right? Well, in that case, I would set a daily budget at the campaign or ad set level, doesn't matter, of 100. So now you're giving the ad set the opportunity to get 2 sales per day. And that's going to optimize much better than if I did, say, $5 a day or $10 a day. And as you add more ad sets in a CBO or ABO, you need to be aware of how you're splitting up your budget. So if you're doing a CBO where you're giving the budget at the campaign level and you say do 2 ad sets, well, now you have to divide that $100 a day by 2. And so now each ad set is getting $50 more or less. We know it's not going to spend exactly evenly, but as a rule of thumb, each one is approximately going to get $50 a day. So each ad set is going to have a chance to get 1 sale per day, which is sufficient. That's fine. But you don't want to do a CBO with, say, 5 ad sets with a $100 a day budget, because now each one of your ad sets is only going to get $20 a day. If you have an average cost per purchase of 50, that's not enough. It's going to take about 2 days or 3 days to get a single sale. So keep that in mind, guys. The rule of thumb is set your budgets in such a way where each ad set should reasonably get 1 or 2 sales per day. That's going to optimize way better than if you do these tiny little $5 and $10 a day budgets. Well, I get this question a lot. How long should I let things run for? Well, there's a lot of different factors that go into this. If you know your ad account really well, then you can obviously, you'll know when things are working or when they're not a lot sooner. But if you don't, and it's like a new ad account or you're trying a new product or a new offer, I tend to do the 3x the target CPA rule. So let's say you had a product that was $100 and you had a target cost per action or cost per purchase of 50, then I would let that run for approximately 2 or 3x that target. So I would let it run for about $100 or $150, so like 2 or 3 days, and then make a call. Usually on the 3rd day, I will analyze it and say, okay, am I getting sales? Yes or no? Am I profitable? Yes or no? If no, am I at least getting adds to carts and initiate checkouts? If yes, I may let it run a little longer to see if it gets some sales. Sometimes it does get sales. If I'm not getting any adds to carts, no initiate checkouts, I've spent 3x my target CPA, I'll probably close it and I'll just try something else. So that's typically a rule of thumb. But in general, guys, when I launch something, first of all, I never edit live campaigns. I see this way too often where you're touching things, you're editing things, you see the example that I showed, the one campaign that I touched and I vertically scaled, it's doing not that good. So that's a good example there. But my point is, try to not touch things that are live. Don't edit things. Resist the urge to touch your campaigns. Stop trying to make them better. It's going to, 9 times out of 10, when you touch something that's live, you're going to break it. Especially if it's working, you're going to break it. So just keep that in mind. Work in a new campaign, or just leave it alone. If you've watched any of my other videos, I have this snow globe analogy where we talk about how anytime you touch anything in the ad account, it's like shaking the snow globe. It kind of makes the snow go everywhere. That's the algorithm kind of going crazy, guys. So try to leave stuff alone. So my point is, when you launch something, leave it alone for 2 or 3, 4, 5 days and just don't touch it. Just don't even look at it. And then on the 3rd or 4th day, take a look at the data with a clear mind, and then just be objective and look at it and say, okay, do we keep this or do we close this? The worst thing you can do is run it for a half a day, a few hours, or 1 day, and then close it or edit it or touch it. That's gonna throw everything off and it's just not gonna work, guys. All right, you guys, that's all I have for you today. If you found this helpful and you wanna keep learning, I recommend that you check out some of my other videos. I am packing them full of value and showing real live case study examples of everything that I'm talking about. If you're looking for some extra guidance to help scale your business with Meta Ads, I highly recommend that you join my school group. It's currently only $99 a month and it is going to go up in the very near future. You get access to DM me at any point in time and I'm answering questions daily in the group. We also do a weekly live Q&A call where we talk about the latest updates for Meta Ads, the latest strategies, and the latest news so you can stay ahead of the curve. So if you're interested in that, I have the link in the description below. Otherwise, I hope you have an awesome rest of your day. Take care, you guys. Thank you.